Uh, okay, hello everyone. So this is a continuation of last class. Uh, so till now we are discussing about filter, right? So I hope we have a at least some clear picture about how a filter works. Basically, we are discussing about gravity filter. So how a gravity filter work? That means how a gravity filter can uh, how can a gravity filter can purify water. We have discussed basic mechanism like what are the mechanism? Mechanism like sedimentation, mechanical straining, electrolyte charge, and biological changes. So, in a broad way, we can say a filter, gravity filter can use a physical approach or chemical approach or biological approach to purify water. Okay, not 100% purification, but somehow uh, it can purify water. Okay, we can remove impurities from water to some extent. Okay, so we have discussed that is under physical uh, phenomena or physical approach, sedimentation and mechanical straining. That means sedimentation means a heavy matter can settle at the base of the or at the top layer of the sand, and sand layer can also be used as a sieving apparatus. That means the larger impurities can stuck in the smaller voids present in sand. So these are you can say physical approach for um, removing impurities from water. Electrolyte chains, here you can see electrolyte chains is basically under chemical approach. So you all know that a sand particle and the impurities itself also carry some charges along with them. So if they are of opposite charges, they attract each other, and impurities having a kind of a charge can attract it to a sand particle containing opposite charge, and they stuck with each other, and they are resisted from flowing in the direction of the water under gravity. So at the last, we have discussed biological chains. Under biological chains, we have already get this idea that uh, uh, a biological film.
uh, a biological film.
किसका please unmute yourself, okay?
Please unmute yourself, okay?
Everyone, please mute yourself.
Everyone, please mute yourself.
Roll number 34.
Roll number 34.
Mute yourself.
Mute yourself.
Okay. Under biological changes, we learned that due to the physical mechanism or due to the presence of smaller voids of fine sand, the more impurities may stuck in the top layer of the sand, and they form a layer of impurities. They create a layer of impurities in the top layer of the sand. Even in when you see a local filter, even in a place in a rural area or even maybe present in your house, you can see the top layer maybe little greenery kind of color may present. Okay, or maybe a different color layer may also present above the sand. Okay, even some reddish color. Okay, it's kind of iron actually. Iron also gets stuck in there. Okay, so that top layer is actually basically what it's a layer of impurities, and they are actually also known as biological film. So in this biological film, which contain impurities like organic matter, nitrogen, phosphorus, iron, manganese, all these things, virus, bacteria. Not actually, virus bacteria is present in water only here. Okay. So that particular organic matter present in that what organic matter present in water, they are consumed by the microbes or like bacteria and virus. Basically, they are known as heterotrophs. Here you can see they consume organic matter and they produce carbon dioxide, acid, and alcohol. Fine, and that particular carbon dioxide can be used by the autotrophs like algae and plankton present in the biological film, and they use this carbon dioxide, and they use sunlight for photosynthesis. Okay, for the process of photosynthesis, they also need carbon dioxide. Okay, and they consume nitrogen, phosphorus also, and finally they produce what? Oxygen. Okay, and that oxygen can be used by this, again they are used by these heterotrophs like bacteria and virus for the oxidation of organic matter, and they produce again carbon dioxide. That carbon dioxide again used by this algae and plankton, they produce oxygen, and so this cycle will go on. By this cycle the impurities may remove from the water. So this is all about your biological change, biological process of water treatment. Okay, so you have to know the basic or the hidden operation behind what is in what we mean by biological changes. Okay, I hope you have got the idea, right? Iron and manganese can also be consumed by iron bacteria. So if it particular water if also contain iron or iron bacteria, they some bacteria can also consume iron and manganese also. They are heavy metal, but anyway they can also consumed by some bacteria. Okay, so like this, different impurities present in water like organic matter, like iron, manganese. Okay, this can be removed by this biological film, and which is basically a biological behavior of a biological approach of water treatment. Okay, now I already told you the gravity filter basically divided into two head. One is your rapid send filter, another one is your slow send filter. So both uh, the filter like slow send or rapid send both treat water based on this phenomenon only. Okay, the slow send filter mainly use these biological changes for treating water. Okay, and that repetition filter, the repetition filter use the above other process for treating the water. Okay. Wait a second. Okay, so let's discuss about slow send and rapid send filter. Fine. So I'm not going to give a in detail again and again because we have already discussed what is the mechanism. Okay, so basically slow send filter use biological behavior, a biological way. That means that use the biological film for treatment, and the repetition filter use the other three. Okay, basically the first and two. Fine. So let me discuss about the difference between slow send filter and repetition filter. Okay, so if I let's discuss first about slow send filter. Slow send, so slow send filter, right? So basically, I already told you now the slow send filter used biological film. Fine. Now to get the layer of impurity on the top layer, on the top surface of the sand, what kind of sand you need? What kind of what kind of what type of sand you need for that? It's logical that to create the film above the top layer, the voids of the sand must be small. Okay, that means the voids present in particular sand must be less so that it can resist the process of impurities downward. So if you give a larger sizes sand or larger voids, then there will not be any creation of biological film above the top surface. Okay, This is logical thing. That means in case of Sloshing filter, you need that particular sand which having a lesser voids. Okay. Now, do you know from the soil? I hope you also um, learn about soil mechanics that which soil, what grade of soil have less voids. Do you have any idea? I'm giving you two examples. One is your well graded, sand. Okay, dependence, well graded sand, and let's say polygraded, polygraded sand. Okay, so what grade of soil can be used in Sloshing filter? Do you have any idea? Anyone can ask, and why? Anyone? So I already told you, I already given the hint that the Sloshing filter use the biological changes for treating water. That means a biological film or a layer of impurity must be created at the top layer of the sand. Okay, and to create a particular layer of impurities, which is called a biological film, you need a particular sand which contain less voids. Now, question will arise between these two type of sand, which sand, which type of sand have lesser voids? Do you have any idea about that? Anyone? Anyone? Well graded. Okay, roll number 81. Anyone else? Okay, yes, correct. Well graded sand. Well graded sand have lesser voids. Okay, and polygraded soil have comparatively have larger voids. Okay, I think these things already cleared by in the fifth semester soil mechanics class, I guess. Okay, so from this point you can say in case of if you're creating a Sloshing filter, that means in a Sloshing filter we have to use well graded sand since it has less voids. Okay, fine. So that impurities may accumulate on the top surface. Okay, which is known as biological film. So you can say if a biological film created, if you use well graded sand as a top layer in the Sloshing filter, then you can say a biological film will be created. Fine. But there is a drawback also. If you create a biological film over the top surface, what will happen? It will create a kind of a wall kind of structure. That means the further water cannot be passed through the film. Okay. Although because of the film only we can say the water is purified. Okay. But with time to time we can also allow water to pass through, okay, pass through the sand layer and through the gravel, and at least finally we can get a treated water. Okay, to get a treated water, that particular water must go through the sand, then to gravel, then finally from the top, from the bottom only we can collect the treated water. Fine. So so cleaning must be done by scraping the top layer up to 2 to 3 centimeter, which also destroy the top layer, the top biological layer. That means time to time what do you need to do? We need to using a knife or any other apparatus, you can scratch, we can do the scratching on the top layer. We have to destroy the biological film time to time. Okay, so that some water that some amount of treated water can pass through the gravel, or then finally we can collect from the bottom. Okay, that means that cleaning must be done by scraping the top layer of about of up to 2 to 3 centimeter. That is up to 2 to 3 centimeter we have to scratch it. Okay, we need to destroy the biological film. Fine. So just after the cleaning, that means it is kind of cleaning process. Suppose during the treatment process you are using the biological film. Okay, after some time, then suppose that particular water we need for consumption. Okay, then we can destroy the biological film up to 2 to 3 centimeter by scratching it from the top layer. Then the water is allowed to pass through the gravel, then we can collect it. Okay, or you can say it is a cleaning purpose. This is all about cleaning of that particular filter. Okay, you also need a time to time cleaning of the filter, right? So this is the process how we can clean the Sloshing filter by scratching the top layer of the biological film. Now actually during the cleaning of the biological film, we cannot consume the water. Okay, because we have to wait till the next impurity layer generated. Fine. That means whatever after scratching the layer, whatever the new water sample can be poured on the top layer. Okay, it will directly go down to the gravel and it will come out. But we cannot directly take that water because it is not coming through the biological film because we have already scratched the biological film. So we have to wait till the biological film will again regenerate. Okay. So biological film need to do some process, whatever process we have already discussed. All the biological process can have to done. Yeah. Okay. After that, we can scratch it. Then we can go for that collecting that water which is treated by the biological film. Okay. So just after the cleaning, the efficiency of Sloshing filter get reduced. That means at that time, during cleaning of the Sloshing filter, we cannot use that particular water at least for about 48 hours, for 2 days at least. So to create the biological film, it required minimum 2 days. Okay, and we can go for frequently cleaning the Sloshing filter every after 3 months. So every after 3 months, suppose you have created the Sloshing filter using well-graded sand, then wait for 2 days so that biological. Then you just pour the water. Then you don't need to consume the water whatever coming out of the filter. Okay, you have to wait for 2 days minimum. Then you can check whether the biological film create or not. Then let the biological film work on that particular water. Then allow the water come pass through the filter, pass through the gravel, then collect the water. Then water can be consumable. Okay, can be used. Then after every 3 months you have to go for cleaning the Sloshing filter. Okay, by doing what? By scratching the top layer. Do the stretching because it's completely blocked the layer. Okay, then scratch it. Then again use again enter the new water sample on the top layer. Again, yeah, we have to wait for 2 days so that biological film will regenerate it. Okay, so like this you can go for it. Okay, so this is all about Sloshing filter. Fine. So Sloshing filter actually in case of Sloshing filter, the filtration rate is very slow because you are using a very fine sand which having very less voids. Okay, so you can say the rate of filtration in case of Sloshing filter is very slow. Even word is added here, na slow. It's a Sloshing filter. So that means we can say it's a very slow process of treating water. Okay, in case of Sloshing filter, the voids is very less. Okay, so in case of Sloshing filter, biological changes are dominant. That means due to the biological changes only, the Sloshing filter can treat the water. Fine. Okay. So in the opposite hand, let's discuss the rapid sand filter. It is a uh, rapid sand filter. So, in case of rapid sand filter, there is no need for biological film. This is the first point. It is basically done. It is basically treat water using a physical or mechanical process. So you don't need biological film to create on the top layer. So if you don't need a biological film, what kind of soil, what kind of sand can be used in this rapid sand filter? Can you tell me? Anyone can answer this in chat box, or you can also speak up. In a rapid sand filter, what grade of soil can be used? Any idea? In case of rapid sand filter? Yeah, of course it is logical only. So since we don't need any formation, we don't need the formation of biological film or film of impurities in the top layer. That means we don't need a finer voids. The larger voids can also be uh, can be used. That means we can use polygraded soil. Okay, so we can use, in case of rapid sand filter, we will use polygraded sand. Okay, as a top layer. Okay. So basically, the basic mechanism of the rapid filter, how it's work, is already discussed here, right? So you can at least we can have that idea how a rapid or high repetition filter works, fine? Okay. So if I give the basic difference between Sloshing and repetition filter, so the prime difference between Sloshing and repetition filter is what? The Sloshing filter, in case of Sloshing filter, the filtration rate is low, but in case of repetition filter, the rate of filtration is high. Okay, and in Sloshing filter, we use well-graded sand. In case of in case of repetition filter, we use polygraded sand. We have a lesser voids in case of Sloshing filter. We have a larger voids in repetition filter. Okay, so Sloshing filter treat water using biological changes. Repetition filter doesn't use biological changes. It's use physical and mechanical approach. Okay, there is no creation of biological film in repetition filter, but there is a need of biological film in case of Sloshing filter. So these are some difference or comparison between uh, Sloshing and repetition filter. Okay, so basic idea is already discussed with you. You can also go through the notes that I have prepared for you. These things, oh, no, not these things. Wait, here. So I'll share this notes with you, even with the also the recording. So go through this individually the repetition filter and uh, Sloshing filter with diagram is provided here. Okay. Uh, so this is for the basic diagram for a Sloshing filter, and this is a basic diagram for repetition filter. Okay. So basic idea we have already discussed. Okay. So if you go through these notes, you will get the idea. It is very easy to understand now. Okay. So one more thing I am going to give you. Can you see this? Can you pronounce this? Stack. Okay. So this actually this word, this actually is actually word used for the biological film. Okay. So I'll also give you what is this actually. SCHMU, which that BCKE. Okay. Okay. So basically this word. It's very difficult to pronounce, so I'll try anyways. Smooth stack or something like that. Okay. So this word is basically used. It's actually a German word. Okay. So basically, this word is basically used to represent the layers of impurity or biological film. Okay. So in some exam also this word came scumet stack. Okay. So it's a biological that is actually represents the biological film. Okay, biological film on the surface of the Sloshing filter. Okay. So I'll show you the biological film layer. It's a real diagram may be there. Okay. So you can go through the real picture. Let's find the real picture. It's not there. Okay. Let's find out again. So this Kumut stack. Okay, try to remember this Kumut stack. Here also you can see given here. The top layer of the uh, sand also is known as Kumut stack. It's a biological film actually. Okay. There is no real picture. So I think somehow we'll find out. You need to search. Okay. If you want to see the real picture, you can search in Google. Okay. I'm not finding right now. Anyway, let's see in any real picture. There is no real picture. Okay. Maybe it is there. Sloshing filter. Here you can see. Okay. This kind of Sloshing filter. Okay. So anyway, so you can go through the notes. You will get the idea about that. A basic how water will come in. Okay. Okay. Even in the backwashing also be done. Backwashing means you can pressurize the water. Basically, it is done in the repetition filter also for cleaning purposes. Okay. Here you can see. I think here it is there. This is a backwash. That means this in Sloshing filter, the cleaning is done basically mainly cleaning is done by scratching the biological film. Okay, and in case of repetition filter, how to clean that? That means how to remove the impurities or how to clean that particular repetition filter by doing backwashing. Usually in gravity filter, repetition filter, what is happen? The water flow is what is that vertical downward, right? The flow is coming vertically downward. Okay, so in case of cleaning, you use backwashing. Backwashing means we can use the water. We allow the water to come or flow in opposite direction. It's called backwashing. Okay. By using this, the rearrangement of the particles may occur. Like this, we can clean the water. Okay. So during backwashing or during cleaning, whatever the water will come out, we are not going to use for consumption. Okay. Even in the Sloshing and repetition filter, you just go through these notes, you will get the idea. The basic idea about how a particular filter works we have already discussed here. Okay, don't be scared about this whole the massive diagram. It's very simple thing. Just go through this thing. Fine. So there are some, you can see some comparison between Sloshing filter and repetition filter. Okay, so you can also go through this. So main comparison I have already mentioned to you. Okay, in detail all these things are given here. Okay, like the comparison of the Sloshing and repetition filter based on in terms of comparison, in terms of uh, treatment efficiency, in terms of consumption area, in terms of uh, mechanism. All these things are already discussed, and you can also go through this table to understand the comparative study of Sloshing and repetition filter. Okay. Okay. So this is all about today class. So with this about filters is concept about filters. Gravity filter is already over here. If you have any doubt, you can also ask me at any time. You can text me. Okay. So is there any doubt? अगर डाउट नहीं है तो I just I'll just take your attendance, right? Fine. So I'll just close my recording now here. So I'll take so that I can take your attendance. Clear? So I'm closing this.